Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the briefing for Monday, the 13th of May. Okay, taking a look at the synoptic. Unfortunately, this lovely high pressure we had over the weekend has started to move away, and we've got this low pressure system moving in from the west. Midday today, you can see they're painting on here this quite a small warm front just out to the west of Lasham, followed very closely by a cold front. And as we wind this through to midnight tonight, that warm front has disappeared. And here is the cold front, probably sat pretty much over the top of us. So it looks like with the approaching warm front today, we're going to be seeing quite a lot of cloud, and that will probably increase as the day goes on as that gets closer. And then the rain will be arriving some point later this afternoon. Hopefully, we'll get the whole day out of it. I'm not so sure about the evening. And it will be probably raining quite a lot overnight. Continuing on to tomorrow, hopefully, we'll stay in this clear gap here. You can see this low pressure system centered very close to us, so the risk of this occlusion being closer and being quite showery is there. Moving on, Wednesday, it seems to just sort of stagnate there and fronts moving around, so quite hard to predict exactly what's going to happen at the moment. And moving on towards Thursday, it does seem to be clearing up a little bit, and then Friday looks quite unstable, lots of trough lines around. Winds today, pretty strong actually. So towards the centre of the country, it's showing 25 knots at 160 degrees. A bit further south, directly from the south, 35 knots. So we've probably got 30 knots at least at flying height at Lasham. Interestingly, down here, they're showing the wind to be stronger at 1,000 feet than it is at 2,000 feet. So take that as you will. It's going to be fairly brisk at times, I think. Yeah, cloud, you can see the further you are to the west and the southwest, the cloudier it is. So the best part of the day is probably now, and it'll be progressively getting cloudier as this moves in. Rainfall radar, you can see it set out to the west there, a fairly significant amount. But I do think it's fairly slow moving. Let's have a look at the rainfall forecast. You see it slowly moving towards us during the day. This is about midday now. Continuing on into the afternoon. It looks like the earliest we'll really be seeing much of this is about 4:30, but it's very slow moving. I'm hoping we'll have until at least 5, 6 o'clock actually before we see any of this. It does look like, though, by 7, 8 o'clock, it is most likely going to be over the top of us. So I do find it unlikely we'll get much out of the evening. Public forecast then showing sunny intervals this morning and then a bit more cloud in the afternoon. And then it's showing 50% chance of showers from 4 p.m. and then 90% from 7 p.m. Probably about right given what we just saw. Temperature 15, 16 degrees at most, so not as warm as it has been. And that wind is showing from the south, southeast by the looks of it, and gusting into the mid-20s, so fairly significant there. UV index, thankfully, a little bit lower, but still actually quite high, 4s and 5s. GFS, then, if you look at this, you can see generally top temperatures are better further northeast you are, so the further you are away from that front. In our area, 16, 17 degrees possible as the highest temperature, I think. Dew points quite high, 13, 14 degrees. And that's the current view outside. Flyable, but not overly inspiring. Currently 13 degrees, dew points just under 10. Odium's latest was broken at 1400, so about 1200 above Lasham. Forecast for much the same. They're showing here few at 1800, broken at 2.5, scattered at 2200. So, yeah, probably about 2000 feet is the best we're going to get today. And they're showing here, they're showing rain not until 1700 UTC, so 6 p.m. Farnborough, not actually picking up the rain, and they're showing much the same. Okay, potential flight distance today is that a day to be up in Cambridgeshire by the looks of it, further away from these frontal systems. So nothing around our area. We'll look at thermals at midday, yeah, potentially up to about 2000 feet, and there will be cumulus if they are working. And it looks like by about 2 p.m., Top Meteo is showing it cutting off as the weather moves in. Just look at our site forecast then. Thermal strength, 1.5 knots at 10 a.m., 2 knots throughout until about 2 p.m. It's showing to about 2,500, 2,300 above sea level, so that's about 2,000 above ground. So yeah, you might get something out of it, but you won't be going very far. You will be going downwind though, as you thermal. Um, Not really no dams locally. No one's going to be going anywhere today. Two danger areas here, 20 and 21 out to the west. Bulford and Everley. Surface to 2,500. So if you're going out there motor gliding or something, keep an eye out. Otherwise, there is a very large amount of airspace up to the northwest, a temporary CTA. But I don't think certainly any gliders will be going that way. If they do, they won't be getting back. Okay, operationally, it's going to be 1-6 today with that strong southerly. So launch point in the normal position. Winching from the grass over here with the cables running down the edge of the runway. And any aero towing will be from the grass on the other side. Here. All landings in the direction of 1-6 as normal. And please remember, trees are quite high all the way along here. With the strength of the wind today, you will be getting a lot of sink behind that, 6, 7, or 8 knots if you're unlucky. So keep your approaches nice and high with lots of excess speed and set your reference point well into the airfield, landing well into the airfield, please. We don't want to be seeing anybody coming over the trees with hardly any air brake. 3K21 today, 2K13s, 2 baby grubs, and 3 discuses, same as it's been for a little while now. And the fork is serviceable as well. No movement scheduled today. Yeah, that's strong wind, so please be mindful of that. Don't pull back too hard on the launches, otherwise you will break the weak links, and nice and high on your approach. Simulator serviceable if we need it later on this afternoon or this evening. Okay, looks like a reasonable day. I'll see you out there. Bye for now.